Howdy folks, Keywii here, and welcome back to Suzerain, a safe space in which would be awesome, where our economy could be better, our budget could be better, our wealth is fine. Could be better, but you know, it's actually fine. What I want to see is that on the right and that out of the negative. That's what I want to see. However, we got a briefing on the current political situation. The economy can wait. We got to focus on politics here. So, I walked into the white room with a cup of coffee in my hand. There's a popcorn kernel on my tongue right now. My vice president scheduled a meeting on the current political situation. I opened the door and entered the room. Gloria immediately stood up. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning. Take a seat. We have a long day ahead of us. Let's begin. I wanted to provide you with some quick updates on the current political situation. She pulled out a few documents from a briefcase and laid them on the table. Mr. Hall has reported to me that he is currently putting the finishing touches on his new economic plan. He said he wanted to solidify the plan before it is presented to you. He will schedule a meeting soon to go over our options. I told him to be quick. Our administration depends on it. Simon can pull it off. I'm sure he's never failed me before. I'll be expecting good ideas and even better outcomes. This better be good for his own good. No, I'm not going to be threatening in this case. I will be expecting good ideas. Simon can pull it off. I'm sure he's never failed me before. Mr. Hall knows what he's doing. I'm sure he will deliver as well. She closed the folder and put away the documents. Next up on the docket. Next, it's time to talk about our election prospects. There's a sharp, soft knock on the door. I hope it's all right with you that I invited Mr. Gallade to this portion of the meeting. Of course, how are you two getting along these days? Why wouldn't it be? Of course. Gloria went to the door. Lucian walked in. Mr. President, Ms. Vice President. If Lucian still resented the choice of Vice President, he didn't show it. His tone was nothing but cordial and professional. Which, I mean, he'd always been, so it's difficult to tell, to be honest. The three of us sat down. Gloria handed out a new set of documents. Miss Tori, I'll let you take the lead on this. Gladly, Mr. Gallade. I've just received the results of the voter poll commissioned by Peter Vectron shortly before his, shall we say, departure. To put it in plain language, it's not great, bad even. The USP stands to lose up to 20% of the vote compared to the last time around. I'm not worried, we still got time to win them over. Tell it to me straight, do we still have a chance? We still have a year to gain more votes, but we've got to think strategically. Which presumably is why you have retained the services of your chief strategist. Absolutely. Lucian, you are still sore about this? Let it go. Do you have something to add, Lucian? No, pardon the interruption. Gloria shuffled some papers around. Looking at the demographics of the voters polled, you've fallen out of favor with conservatives. Less than half of them are likely to vote for you. The liberal base appears divided, but you do have a considerable number of supporters there. For better or worse, you certainly aren't popular with nationalists. If you ever had any support from socialists, you've completely lost it now. Unsurprisingly, none of the Bludish poll respondents said they were planning on voting for you. Lastly, we can't expect votes from centralists and unaffiliated voters unless we do something to win them over. Oh, so what I'm hearing is that there's no hope fucking anywhere. Sounds like you're doomed. Lucian, what do you suggest? Lucian smiled and bowed his head slightly. Thank you, Mr. President. This may sound like common sense, but a convincing enough campaign can succeed where policies fail. Even if you've opted not to focus on your campaign at the moment, I'd still advise you to seize every chance for exposure that you can. I'm a man of substance, Lucian. Image means nothing to me. Take that into account. I'd rather be signing bills than kissing babies. Perhaps, but we've both been in this game long enough to know how it is played. One more thing. There is a not insignificant portion of undecided voters who don't care who occupies the Maroon Palace as long as the economy is running smoothly. Propping up the economy just ahead of the election is a surefire way to win them over. It's all on Simon, then. Thanks for the advice. Lucian nodded in acknowledgement. Our country seems to be stable so far, but we should avoid further crises if we want to come out of this term strong. There are some worrying news. The Lotharberg group is up to something. My informants have been talking about frequent meetings happening between the oligarchs. This covers most of it. Alright, Gloria, your thoughts? What do the conservatives want? Great, I've heard enough, Gloria. Yeah. I will say that your actions against Tarquin's soul cost you a part of the base you won't be able to get back. Nodding towards soulism in your future policies might help. Or it might be a little too late. I'm going to go with the too little too late aspect, because I'm not a fan of the guy. This Women's Rights Commission of yours, I did warn you against moving too fast on that front. Giving women's rights activists everything they want at once is guaranteed to scare conservatives off. The civil unrest that I've been hearing about since I took office, it needs to end. With a big show of force, if possible, conservatives like a secure country. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. If all else fails, fall back on Sordland's military might. I'm personally not a fan of jingoism, but it works on certain segments of the base. I'm not going to pander to flag-waving mouth-breathers, no. Gun raise nothing if not a patriot, I'll rally the troops. I don't need to count conservatives that bad. No. See, here's the thing. I've always been about Sordland first. Fuck those other countries. Fuck the other ones. No. Sordland first. I've always been a patriot. This country is my home, and it should be the best home I can ever have. I'm here to clean the floors. Anyway, that's my advice for what it's worth. Great, that'll be enough for today. You're both dismissed. Well, that was everything on my end anyway. Perfect. The three of us make a good team, don't we? Keep me posted on all these situations you mentioned. Good work, both of you. I'll see you shortly. I left the room to attend my next meeting. Okay. The industrial zone is getting closer to being completed. Full sword post. Government imposed mandatory vaccine policy. The administration has imposed that everyone in the country has to be vaccinated against polio disease. The disease barely claimed more than more or less 1,000 people in Bergia. Why is it necessary for the whole country to spend our hard-earned rent for something that is nowhere near us? The disease was spreading from Welland to Bergia. It seems that those illegal immigrants from Welland not only caused chaos in our society, but also brought with them deadly diseases. As such, it is more than clear that the solution to this problem is to completely quarantine the entirety of Bergia and increase our border control. Instead, President Rayne is forcing everyone to pay for something that we don't currently need. Yeah, but the thing about a vaccine is that you get it before you need it, or you will need it and then not have it in your system already. And then, hey, how it works is that it trains your white blood cells to fight the thing. And then if they fight it, and then they learn how, and then you get the real thing, and they fight it better. Not perfectly, of course. There's room for error there, but like better. Like it's the difference between having studied for a test and not studied for a test in a class you've never been in. To be perfectly clear, you've never been in this class. You've never stepped foot. You don't know anything about the subject, but you take a test that you either studied for or didn't. That's the difference. The president's decisive action stops polio in its tracks. Polio disease, which was spreading wildly in Welland, has crossed over to the Bergia region. However, thanks to the administration's foresight, large quantities of vaccines have been secured and mandatory vaccine policy was implemented to combat the sickness. Minister of Health, Pascal Benawal, has delivered a statement to compliment President Anton Rayne on his decisive actions, which led to the ongoing preventative measures. Look at how amazing I am. I'm doing awesome. Suzerain, read the polio disease is controlled inside the Bergia region. Ministry of Health, Pascal Benawal, has submitted a heartening report. It states that the polio disease is controlled inside of the Bergia region. He stated that we had flattened the curve of infection within the Bergia region, and with the mandatory vaccine, it will be hard for the disease to spread into other regions within the country. The thing about the whole polio outbreak and the way it's being treated and worded in this game is that it wouldn't be this way if the game came out 5 years ago. The thing is, like, obviously, polio is bad and it should be handled, but, like, the way people are talking about it and, like, the whole mandatory and blah, 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 it's very parallel and reminiscent of real life, and I think that's intentional. I think if this game came out 5 years ago and it was exactly as well developed and, same technology, whatever, I think that the polio thing wouldn't have happened. I don't believe that it would have been mentioned in any way. Briefing on the increasing unrest among populace. That sucks. Julius entered my office and took a seat. She was frowning intensely. She didn't talk at first, just fixing me with a steady gaze. When she did speak up, it was in strained tones. Mr. President, we have a problem. Explain now. This just came in. Here, take a look. I took a look at the report. I took the document from her hands and started reading it. The report was titled, Protests in Major Cities. I looked up immediately after reading the title. Leos gave a grim nod of confirmation. Protests have been erupting all over Sordland. They are protesting you, Mr. President. They are asking for your resignation. I can't say this is unexpected. What is unexpected, however, is the sheer size of the protests and the level of violence. Several people have been killed already. Sordland hasn't seen this much unrest since the death of Bernard Circus. Enough, we can't let the tensions rise to those levels again. We'll need to handle these protests. Change doesn't come easy, there is always a cost. We will need to handle these protests. Agreed. Carl Grazer is on his way here right now. He will tell us what he knows so far. Just then, there was a loud knock on the door. Carl came in without waiting for an answer. He was clearly out of breath. Ah, there he is. He saluted me. Status report. Oh, Mr. President, I'm so sorry for being late. Carl, I already informed the President of the situation. Do you have any updates? This music is so ominous. As you know, President, protests have been organized in major cities like Holsword, Lockhaven, and Dare, and many more. Unfortunately, we're having a hard time suppressing the unrest. This is partly due to the lack of riot gear. 8 policemen and 2 protesters have been killed during the clashes. One of the said protesters seemed to have an KA-74. The situation is escalating quickly. We currently have 137 protesters in custody. Among the detainees, we found Red Youth members. I would like to remind you that some of these groups are banned by decree. The main rhetoric they all share is that they are demanding the president's resignation. They dare defy me? Traitors! If my citizens are unhappy, they should at least hear... we should at least hear what they have to say. Nonsense, if a president resigned whenever someone protested against him, there would be no president. There's freedom of speech in this country. They can say whatever they want. If they're unhappy, we should hear them out. They are the people. They are the country. I would refrain from giving them too much agency. What does the protester profile look like? We have investigated the various groups involved in the protests and compiled a list of their complaints. I will go through it. He pulled out a document from the folder he was carrying. President Rayne took away my smokes. The majority of the protests are about the state of the economy. Thanks to the media, we are under fire for showing support at the Ashraf anniversary. In addition, there are many provocateurs that are not tied to any specific organizations or cause. Oh, it's the Ottawa protesters. That's the allegory we're going for here. We need to take action, Mr. President, immediately. If the protests get any more violent than they already are, we are risking a civil war. Down with Rayne achievement. Hey, I got an achievement. Let me take a look at this. Cause a civil unrest in Sordland. Oh, that's not good. What's the percentage of people who got this one? Down with Rayne. Unlocked. Yeah. I want to see global achievements on that one. Let's see here. Ooh, only 17.2% of people have this achievement. Ooh, I'm in the lucky 5th of people. Well, that have played total. A lot of people could just not have gotten to this far. We are risking a civil war. Your orders, Mr. President. I can't fight against my own people. Set up a meeting with their spokesperson. I'll listen to their demands. Won't risk civil war. Do whatever it takes to stop protesters. Use force if necessary. I'm not feeling that one. Catch the ringleaders and sabotage their... Oh, absolutely not. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you fucking stupid? No! And no, I'm definitely not feeling 2. It feels, I don't know, too force, crack the whip or something. I'm gonna set up a meeting with their spokesperson. I'll listen to their demands. We need to set up a dialogue to show that I'm willing to do something. Other than nothing. As you command, Mr. President. I can't say I condone this. The people must respect the laws of this land. What are you doing right now is giving in to the anarchists. If you will excuse us, Mr. President, we have work to do. Good luck. Dismissed. I expect results. Good luck. I believe you will need more luck than we do. Come on, Carl. We are leaving. Elias hurriedly left the room. Carl bowed to me. Mr. President. Get down, Mr. President. He followed after. Okay. Doesn't seem to be... Oh, no. Doesn't seem to be anything else going on in the country. The industrial zone is close to finishing. That should help the economy out. Alright, what do we got going on? Industrial expansion. A large expansion program presents several options to improve industrial capacity. Oh! Oh, that sucks. Oh, dear God, that sucks. Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, no. Minister Hall and Menger have prepared a massive industrial expansion plan that could support several key industries in the country. Through state investment, Sordland could become much more competitive and a hub for new industries with this initiative. Oh, God, no. Oh, no, 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 no. 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 Oh, God. Oh, this is the worst thing. Why can't there be a plus government budget? Why? Why can't there be? Oh, I was so excited to get the budget up. Alright, enough bitching. Let's make the work happen. Okay, so the 4 industries we have are agricultural, automotive, electronics, and military. We can also not expand, though I don't think that's a good idea. So, the industrial expansion. Okay. Let's go through them. Expand the military industry. That would be quite helpful with the Rumberg situation. Electronics could put us ahead of everyone else and make Sordland the best Sordland it could be. Automotive could be great. There's going to be some, whatever pollution problems in the future, but we don't care. It's the 50s. I don't care. Agriculture would be great. We definitely need more food. But people aren't exactly hungry, They aren't feeling that. They aren't upset about that. What they need is jobs in the cities, and I'm thinking either automotive or electronics. I would have also gone with military, but that's a -3, and fuck that. Let's get electronics, I guess? I don't know. What's the difference? Sordland can become much more competitive and a hub for new industries with this new initiative. All right, so what are the downfalls of this? The agriculture could be great for the people in the rural areas, but it could be like, well, I mean, now the people in the cities are losing jobs, and the government sucks, and not enough people are making money, the economy is bad, and blah, blah, blah. Automotive, it could be a pollution thing, but honestly, I doubt that. I don't see a downfall to hitting automotive right now. Electronics... my brain's stuck. I'm just gonna pick it and live with the consequences of that. Whatever. Rockhaven Times. Government dedicates investments to electronics. Sordland to invest in the future of a massive push for the new electronics industry that is rising in importance all around the globe. Many companies formed by Gelsord researchers are going to be funded with government support to ensure that the electronics industry in Sordland grows in its potential. Some experts even dare to say a technological revival awaits the nation after this bold new move. Experts in the country who praised Arcasia and United Contana on their dedication to investing in electronics have also extended their Commendations to the Rayne administration for economically advocating for such measures. Will Sordland manufacture its very own radio soon? It might now be possible to think of such a reality. Oh, right. Electronics like radios. I forgot. I was thinking like computers. I'm like, it's a little early for that. Security Act. Sign or veto the Security Act that was approved by the Grand National Assembly. Okay, well, let's read this closely. Ooh, we got a thing in the bottom left here. So, the lack of security due to the period of social upheaval calls for drastic measures proposed by the majority of the GNA. Section A of the SA allows the use of force whenever deemed necessary. Section 2 orders that suspicion-based arrests, confiscations can occur without warrants. Section 3 allows security forces to use their authority beyond the legal limits that are permissible, if it ensures maintaining state security and by extension, the general public. Are permissible if it ensures maintaining state security. Okay. So it's essentially like an emergency act kind of bill. Security Act, Emergency Act. I'll come back to this. I want to see what happened in the country overview. Economy. Electronics industry. It doesn't have anything over here. England lacks investment. I did give investment to England. Where's your economy plummeting? Now let's take a look at law. Nothing good in law. Some good in economy. A little bit good in military. Welfare is looking fantastic. Not so good in order. Diplomacy has some great stuff going on. Okay, alright. I should trade with Lesbia. Free trade zone with Lesbia. That's good. That's great. So, the Security Act, huh? Okay. Are we going to allow our police officers to use force? And, hope that they don't abuse it and ruin fucking everything. Every time I sign or veto one of these, fucking everything changes. God, I hate being president of Sordland. I hate being president in general. This game has very incredibly specifically taught me how much being in charge of anything sucks. How much being in charge of a fucking country is the worst thing on earth. It's garbage. You can only make bad decisions and ruin things. You can go in good intention. I certainly thought I could and just fuck everything up. Oh, God. And then everyone hates you, even if you're doing good things. It's like, why the fuck did you want to do this? Anyway, I'm leaning to sign, but I don't even know at this point. If I drank or smoked, I'd be doing one of those right now. I don't drink as a choice. I'm a teetotaler. And I don't smoke because that's fucking stupid. Stop smoking. It's bad for you. Sign, I guess. I don't fucking know. Continue. Hang on. Whole sword post. President of Order. The escalating security situation in the country has led to a bipartisan effort in the Assembly that led to the passing of the Security Act. President Rayne has signed the bill into law to increase the security measures in the face of massive destruction surrounding the upheaval. The bill entails necessary measures such as use of force, separation arrests, suspicion arrests, authority beyond limits if state security is endangered. There's no and there. Police officers have praised the administration for giving the Interior more authority to solve the security issues. The administration seems to be on the right track to uphold law and order around the country. We urge people to stay at home. I mean, it had to be done, right? Like, there was so much shit going on, and I just don't want this to get bad. I was looking at the older turns just to see what was going on, Anyway, let's continue on to, I think, turn 9. Oh, no, Chapter 4. Chapter 4! Oh, my God, Chapter 4. Oh, my God, I never thought I'd make it to Chapter 4. Checkmate. Says Chapter 4. Alright, what the fuck are we doing now? End the day at home. Alright, hang on. One moment. So, I think I just figured out a way to determine... to determine how many people have played the game. Because I was saying earlier, like, that's how many people did that, but if, people didn't play. So what I think needs to happen is I need to look at the game-specific achievements. I need to look at Chapter 4, see how many global achievement stats have gone that far. Chapter 4, Checkmate. I haven't gotten it, I just started, I'm going to get to the end of it. Chapter 4, Checkmate is awarded to 40% of the people who played this. Meaning 40% of the people got that far. 44% got the Chapter 3 achievement, which I just got. Anyway, so there's a lot going on. This game is huge, and I'm really glad I'm playing. This game is awesome. If I ever decide to play this again, I'm doing it in my own spare time, by the way. If I ever decide to do this again, I'm going full-time mode. Everything is mine, the money included. Miguel would take all the necessary steps. In a televised address, Chancellor Emmerich Hegel claimed intensive fighting was taking place between the Agnolian forces and the locals of Helgeland, resulting in the massacres of ethnic Vogs living on the island. He portrayed the conflict as a national struggle and compared it to the independence wars of the former colonies of Rica. Hegel said Vogsland, as the guarantor of the Helgeland security, would take all the necessary steps to prevent mass atrocities committed against the islanders. Van Herten said in a television interview that Vogslandians must withdraw their harassment squad from the Marquian Sea before any diplomatic talks can happen. Oh, is there no, like, fucking fire over here or anything? Stallport. Hull sword. Perla. We don't even see the capital city on this map for Welland. Rather, it's not big enough to show up the same way the other ones are. Helm. Anyway, so let's do the thing. We got like 3 minutes left in the video. Let's do the end of the day at home. Residence of the President of Sordland. It was raining as Serge dropped me off at home after yet another grueling day of work. A guard held an umbrella over my head as I walked from my car to my front door. Inside, the house was completely dark. I flipped the light in the kitchen to find a note from Monica. Ooh, that's not good. Sierra had called her in a last-minute women's rights movement. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she left me. She dropped Dina off at a friend's and left me some food for reheating. I took the pot out of the fridge. It was filled with an unidentifiable, grayish-looking stew. Evidently, Monica's excellent cooking had been the first casualty of her political career. No comment. Reheat the stew, order a pizza. I'm gonna eat the stew. I'm not gonna disrespect her cooking. I sighed and put the pot on the stove. Plus, I mean, that would be extra money that we don't have. You don't just get a pizza because you don't like the food you have. You get a pizza because you want a pizza. You know? While I was heating up, I went to the living room to fix myself a drink. Suddenly the phone rang. I went back to the kitchen and answered it. Frank's voice was on the other end. Oh, I thought Mom would pick up. She's off on her ladies' crusade as usual. Her mother works harder than I do these days. Sorry, you're stuck with your old man. Oh, do you too, Frank? Her mother works harder than I do these days. Alright, Dina's gonna have a fit if she gets rid of girls' handicraft classes. There was a long silence. I got that record you sent me. Not bad for old folks' music. Take that back. You fucking take that back. You fucking take that back. Glad you like it. How's Uncle Peter doing? Do you even know what he did? I haven't heard from him since the press conference. I don't know. I still don't care. He and Evelyn are divorcing. Haven't heard from him since the press conference. Okay. So messed up what he did. The whole scandal hasn't exactly helped with the protests here. Are you joining the revolution, son? Are you winning, son? Well, I hope you're putting a good word for me. Nothing a bit of tear gas can't fix. Nope. Careful, Frank. These protests are getting dangerous. Actually, Dad, I've been taking part in some of these protests. Good for you. Exercise your right of freedom of speech. Or you could get hurt. Make me look like an idiot. Are you kidding? You will stop it from now on. Either one or two. I'm leaning to one. I could do two though. Like that sounds right. Worried for his safety. He's growing into a fine, upstanding citizen. Good for you. Exercise your right to freedom of speech. You're not mad at me? No, I was a student once too. You know. I'm just disappointed you wouldn't talk to me beforehand. Not everyone can get a personal audience with the President of Sordland, Dad. It sends a more powerful message if I'm there with my fellow citizens. You're born with privilege. Take advantage of it. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I've never had privilege before. Well, message received. Don't be a smartass, Frank. On powerful message. How about I send Carl to beat the shit out of every last one of you? Okay. Fucking calm down. Don't be a smartass, Frank. No, he's not being a smartass. He's being sincere. He's being sincere. All message received. Just think about what we have to say. That's all I ask. I suddenly became aware of a smoky smell coming from the kitchen. My dinner was burning. I have to go. I'll try calling your mother tomorrow. Good catching up with you, Frank. Yeah, okay. Bye, Dad. We both hung up. I raced to the stove and turned off the burner. I think you microwaved it. The bottom of the pot was charred, but part of the mystery stew was still salvageable. I ate alone by the flickering light of the television, wondering when Monica and Dina would get home. Oh, life is sad for me. Oh, dear Christ, everything exploded. Okay, economy. Debt crisis. Fucking cool, my dude. I love debt crises. I love debt crises. Read the report from Narble. Sure. Police overwhelmed in remote cities. Since the deployment of the police forces to combat the unrest, many attacks have occurred in remote cities, ambushes are rampant, and the security forces are being pushed back. Police stations and patrols are the main target of the militants. Unless reinforcements are provided, the current forces are not enough to control the situation. Read the report from Lockhaven. Debt crisis shocks the economy. The central bank and the Ministry of Economy are tackling the extensive damages caused by the debt crisis and the subsequent credit rating downgrade of Sordland. Both entities are resulting to all sorts of currency and economic control measures to stabilize the volatility triggered by the events. I didn't want to click on that one. I just want to click here and look around. Read the report from Gelsord. Sure. The proportion of female students enrolled in Sordland's education system is getting closer to half the student body. There have been 1 million enrollments recorded this academic year being women. The highest share on record in Sordland, according to a report by the Ministry of Education. Well, that's nice. That's very nice, at least. The economists are not happy with me. Benfey. Word from Benfey. Police retaliation in Benfey. During the increasingly violent protests, 6 police officers were killed in Benfey. The police forces tasked in the area opened fire to retaliate. Citizens have been killed during the gunfire. The death toll is 38, while there are 21 wounded. The personnel involved in the killing have been suspended until further instructions. Here's the report from Conrad. Private prisons increase revenue. Industrial zone open. Hey! The industrial zone! Oh my god. The Conrad Industrial Zone is open to the public. Long lines of factory workers are waiting in line to apply for new opportunities. The opening is expected to increase the industrial output of Conrad by 40%. As per the reports, industrial workers from nearby cities are also migrating, creating an influx of jobs and investments. Oh my god, that's the best news ever. Oh my god, it's so good. With new private prisons running, many wealthy inmates have requested to be transferred to those prisons. We are already expecting to see substantial amounts of revenue being generated from the prisons. Well, it sounds like Conrad is having a great time. Read the report from Jen. Desalinization progress. They're putting an end to all propaganda stories about Tarquin's soul around all schools and universities in Jen. Saul's pictures have also been confiscated with heavy resistance from the citizens, requiring drastic measures to be enacted. Yeah, none of them are going to be happy about that. Ooh, okay, well, we got a new bill this time. That'll have to be for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I, of course, am Keywii. You have a great to yourself, a delightful day. I love you all. Goodbye.